Going to move to our next speaker, who is an icon, Pete Subkoviak. Pause for applause, pause for applause. Pete Subkoviak has been a longtime champion of cash policies. During the Biden administration, Pete directed the Resilient Families Hub, a federal initiative focused on the role of cash transfers in spurring economic stability and mobility for low and moderate income families. He also served as Cook County's Director of Guaranteed Income and Economic Mobility, creating and overseeing the nation's largest federally funded guaranteed income pilot. He was recently retained by Give Directly to author a rapid response white paper on the impact of recent Trump executive orders and federal budget cuts. Please welcome Pete Subkoviak.
Yeah, all right, ready to rock. How's everyone doing? Yeah, I like that energy. I loved hearing all of the chattering. It's such a great conference, an exciting conference to be at, and so it's great to be here. So for those of you who I haven't met yet, my name is Pete Subkoviak. As Kevin said, I've been around for many years now, ran the Cook County pilot, and then was the executive director of the Resilient Families Hub during the Biden administration, and currently doing some work for Give Directly. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today and tomorrow. And I want to ask you to be ready to bring all of your talents and your gifts to bear over these next 2 days. Because we really do have an incredible group of people here. And we're all gathered for the simple reason that we've seen firsthand the power that cash programs have in people's lives. I mean, look, the data backs it up, but more importantly, the lives do too. We know what it means when new moms can rest assured that their babies will want for nothing. When working parents can actually invest time and money to support their children's growth. And when people finally have the capacity to bet on themselves and launch their own businesses. Now, I'm here today to talk about the moment that we're in as a nation, but also as a movement. For the past several months, I've been working on a rapid response memo. It seeks to make sense of how these radically new policies, from trade war and mass deportations to tax cuts and Doge, whatever that is, will impact our economy, state budgets, safety nets, and ultimately low and moderate income people. Now, I didn't do this just to document the destruction. I did it so that we can understand how to be decisive rather than reactive in this moment, and put the nation on a better path into the future. And shameless plug, by the way, if you want to read this memo, it's actually up on Give Directly's website. You can scan the QR code there. We're also going to be having a webinar later this summer where we will talk about the memo in more depth. So if you're interested, you can sign up there as well. So here's what I came to understand from doing that work. And it's the main thing that I want you to come away with here today. As hard as it seems right now, as hard as it is to see, we're actually entering a moment of opportunity where bold policies like cash will not only be welcomed, but they'll be necessary. It's difficult to believe, I know. Things are really bleak right now. We're in the midst of an unprecedented attack on government programs that every American has relied on for decades or sometimes generations. Doge has fired nearly 300,000 federal employees, destabilizing critical work of everything from Social Security and Veterans Administrations, Department of Education, and even the Federal Aviation Administration. The tax bill moving its way through Congress will cause 11 million people to lose their health insurance, more than 5 million to lose their SNAP food assistance benefits. And all of this to pay for a tax plan is effectively the largest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich in our nation's history. It's shameful. What's coming out of DC is cruel, it's unjust, and it's immoral. Bless you. We got you. We got you here. But this is what I want you to remember, to hold. It's also deeply unpopular. So we've got a couple of slides here on some different polling that's been done recently. President Trump's tariffs, unpopular, hurting pocketbooks everywhere. But the SNAP cuts, those are just plain foolish. More than 80% of people in this country want SNAP either level funded or increased. But Congress, in its infinite wisdom, is about to cut $300 billion from that program. A program that mainly goes to feed hungry children and senior citizens. And don't even get Americans started on defunding Medicaid. This is fiercely opposed by a vast majority of voters. 76% of voters oppose cutting Medicaid. That is a huge number. And strong majorities of Republicans and independents oppose these cuts that are being proposed. And yet here we are. The federal government is walking away from some of its most important duties. Americans know it. We feel left behind, betrayed by our leaders. Go to any part of the country. You saw it this past weekend, right? From the Bronx to rural Iowa, people are frustrated, they're angry, and they're afraid. And what is it that they want? They want major change, and a government that does more to actually solve problems. This is actually big. This is a big number. So this is another slide up here, a polling on if people want the government to do more or if they want the government to do less. And just last month, the newest poll came out, and it said that 60% of Americans want the government to do more to solve problems. Now, this is the highest number on record. And for context, the last time that this number even broke 50%, it was right after 9/11. So we are in a time of major change. And when it comes to economic issues, similar story there. 2/3 of Americans think that our economy needs either a major shakeup or complete reform. So here we are, in a moment where the federal government is defunding popular programs that millions of people rely on, bringing no alternatives to the table, and handing budget-constrained states to the bag, telling them to try and figure something out. It's depressing and it's infuriating, but I urge you, do not become confined in that space. Because in this moment, we have a choice to make. We can give way to hopelessness, or we could seize upon the truth that in every struggle is an opportunity to build something better. So I ask you to take the pain that we're all feeling right now and focus on the road ahead. Because this is truly a moment, possibility, where old systems are breaking down, where millions are demanding change, pleading for better ideas, and a government that has their backs. This is our opportunity. This is our chance to take our skills and our expertise, our passion and our power, meet the moment. Because frankly, this is a moment tailor-made for cash. Just think, that's right. Give it up. Just think about all the benefits that we know cash brings, from food and housing stability, child health and development, reduces debt, increases savings, expands economic opportunities for workers and families. And it delivers many of the same outcomes as today's safety net systems, only it does so quicker, more directly, and at a lower cost. And as important, probably more important, it ditches the outdated and costly and frankly offensive paternalism of our old systems. Now in 2022, Department of Health and Human Services, they issued a report where they had interviewed working parents who were in the safety net system to better understand their experiences. And what they found, it mirrors how so many Americans talk about the government today. Interviewees, they found the government to be hard to connect with, unreliable, unhelpful, and sometimes they even felt like the programs weren't there to help them, but to actually undermine their families. One woman, she explained the safety net like this. She said, "It's not a system that's made to go and help people be where they need to be and not be on assistance at all. It's to keep people where they are and basically to punish people. They say they're not doing that, but that's what they're doing from beginning to end." Now, this is a huge problem. It should be a wake-up call to anyone who believes that the government must be a force for good in people's lives. And this is where cash really shines. Cash treats people with dignity and respect, and it actually builds trust and confidence between citizens and the government itself, exactly when we need it most. Now, this doesn't mean that we should just simply do away with the whole safety net and give people cash instead. But what it does mean is that we must seize this moment of opportunity to both help address massive new funding gaps and also challenge public spending that does not serve low-income people well, and do it by weaving in more direct cash. So think about all the challenges that your state and local governments are facing. Because if they care about SNAP, then they should care about cash. If they care about health and children, they should care about cash. If they care about a strong economy and building up the middle class, they should care about cash. And if they care about leading a government that people can believe in again, well, then they need to care about cash. Now, right now, things they feel a little impossible. Well, let me tell you something, and it's why I'm so damn sure about this moment. This thing I'm feeling is the exact same feeling I had in March of 2020, when myself and a few colleagues at Cook County government proposed cash payments as a response to the COVID economic crisis. We were scoffed at, laughed at by many of our own leaders, eye rolls and all. But we were stubborn and determined. We brought the passion and a data-backed solution. And it took some time, but eventually fear gave way and minds were changed. 2 years later, Cook County funded the largest publicly funded guaranteed income pilot in the nation. And now it's planning a permanent program. I imagine this is just what Mayor Michael Tubbs felt back in 2017 when he and the Economic Security Project launched the nation's first guaranteed income program in Stockton. Right? This was an idea that had not been discussed since the final days of Martin Luther King's life. And just look around you. 5 years ago, we were a handful of pilots scattered throughout the country. Now, we're a movement, more than 150 programs, 35 states, hundreds of thousands of lives changed, right? That didn't just happen. You did that. You made that happen. So friends, the reality is that we are more powerful today than we have ever been. Give it up. And if you don't believe me, just head on down to Texas and ask their state legislature about it. But don't forget where this power comes from, because it comes from the grit of all you organizers out there. It comes from the courage of all of you participants sharing your story. It comes from the determination of people who understand the fierce urgency of now and refuse to give up on each other. You built that power, and it's still here, inside each and every one of you. It's just waiting to be called upon. So remember that, because the day is coming soon. We will finally close the gap between our values and our laws. Between the people and those who seek to lead us. It's coming. Time when an income floor is not a privilege for the few, but is a foundation for the many. When a single mom in Jackson, Mississippi, warehouse worker, Michigan, or the young entrepreneur in LA, they all have a shot to build upon their dreams with hope, dignity, real opportunity. One day soon, the government will become what it always should have been, a partner to its people. Not a barrier, and certainly not a bully. And I believe with my entire being that this movement will play a crucial role in how we get there. So where do we go from here? Well, I don't have all the answers, but we as a collective do. It starts right here, right now, together. Let's commit to growing our coalition, and building up public support for direct cash. Let's understand how the research can better inform and serve long-term goals. Let's work together with all of these great program participants to transform them into our leaders. And let's create policies and find elected officials who understand the bold vision that is necessary at this time. So, I leave you with this. Do not lament what is, but revel in what is to be. Old systems are cracking. The new ones are there, just waiting to be built. And we are not simply advocates. We are architects of a future that is more free and prosperous, and of an America that truly supports the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all. So we've got the vision, we've got the power, and we are needed now more than ever. So let's get to work.